Hello students, this side Preet Kamal and I'm a lecturer at Mahichan Polytechnic College Jalandhar. Today I am here to share with you about the subject of EDC, that is Electronic Devices and Circuits, the subject of third semester of Diploma Electronics Diploma students. But before starting with the subject details, let us take a quick review of the important information that we share always about the Mission Fateh campaign run by the government of Punjab. It says that we should wash our hands regularly, we should use sanitizer, mask, and maintain social distancing so that we could come out of this pandemic situation of COVID-19 as early as possible. So, let's move on towards the subject details, and today the topic we will be discussing will be the power amplifiers, the classification of the power amplifiers. As in the previous lecture we have discussed about how the power amplifiers worked and what is their difference between the voltage and the power amplifiers, and what are the different situations that we had to handle, and different types of single-ended power amplifiers, how they work. So now let's move on towards the classification of the power amplifier, that in what way the power amplifier is classified, how many types it is having, why these types are made, everything we will clear in this lecture. So let's start with the first slide. We will come to know here that this is the class A power amplifier and its characteristics are given. Before starting, I would like to tell you here that the power amplifiers are classified into four basic types. First one is class A, then is class B, class C, and class AB. So these are the four types in which the power amplifier is being classified, right? So we all know that the power amplifier is used to handle large kind of signals, and many of them are driven so hard that the input signals and the collector current reaches either in the cutoff or in a saturation state. As you all know, what happens when a transistor reaches in the cutoff or the saturation state, you all have studied it in the basic electronics. So cutoff means when there is no current that is flowing throughout the circuit, and saturation means the current level has increased so much that it has reached that point beyond which if the current will increase even, then there will be no effect of it on the circuit. So sometimes the power amplifier works in such a way that it leads to either cutoff state or the saturation state in spite of the active region where it has to work properly, right? So that is why these four amplifier classifications are here, so that we should come to know that how our power amplifiers varies and how its output changes whenever the power amplifier is the collector current is basically reaches to such an extent that it goes beyond cutoff or beyond the saturation region. So when we talk about the first classification of the power amplifier, that is called class A amplifier, then here you could see the circuit is as normal as a normal power amplifier we use. So here we could use a transformer even, or we can use the load even, whatever we want to, we can use here. The same circuit as we have already discussed in the previous lecture. So the main thing here is to discuss about the characteristics, that how the circuit operates. It is basically the class A amplifier works such that the current flows for whole of the 360-degree point, or we could say here that the operating point is adjusted. We all know what an operating point is. So here the operating point, that is the Q point, is adjusted so that the R1, R2 and the biasing circuits are made such that the operating point will be stable at the middle point. In the class A type of power amplifiers, our operating point is made stable at the center of the active region, so that it should not move either to the saturation or to the cutoff side, and it lies in the middle of the AC load line, right? So it is adjusted such that the collector current, it flows through the circuit throughout the signal, means till the signal is uh, as far as how the signal is being transmitted, or it is being provided at the input of the base of the transistor, for how much time the signal will travel, for the same time the output will occur, because the operating point is at the middle. You can see here, this is the input signal. It has started from the 0 point, reached to this 90-degree point, then 180, then 270, and then 360 degrees. And similarly at the output point, if we will see it, then we could note here that the output is also starting from the 0 point, that is the operating point is at the middle. So the signal is traveling for whole of the 360 degrees depending upon the input signal. In accordance with the input signal, we are getting the output. We could get to know about this more, that the output of the class A amplifier conducts for the full 360 degree of the cycle, right? And the Q point is set at the middle of the load line, that is the AC load line, so that it could swing for the whole of the cycle. So here it will be more clear, that is why I have shown this picture here. It will be more clear here, because let's see, this is the 0 point. As we make the transistor output characteristics, this is the same characteristics like that. So this is the 0 point. In the vertical axis, we are having IC, that is the collector current, the analog collector current. Then at this position, at the horizontal axis or x-axis, we would say, there are, it is VCE, that is collector emitter voltage, DC collector emitter voltage, and here it is the current, collector current. So the graph is made between the collector emitter voltage and the collector current. So this is the maximum point of the collector current, this is the Q point, and this is the minimum point. Similarly here also, this is the minimum point of the VCE, that is the collector emitter voltage, this is the Q point, the center point, and this is the VCE maximum. So this is the basic operating point lying in the center of the AC load line, and the signal is varying from Q1 to Q2, and in between there is Q, that is the center point, right? So in this particular circuit, in this class A amplifier circuit, we can use the transformer coupling also. If we need to use the loudspeaker at the output, we could use this RL also. So we could design it in any way, but the basic thing is the biasing. The biasing is playing the main role in these kind of circuits, that is the classification of the amplification circuits. It is playing the main role because we have to set up the operating point. In class A, we have set the operating point in the middle of the region, right? So the collector current flows all time, right? As we have already discussed, the output wave shape obtained is the exact replica of the input signal. So this is the input signal, and it is the exact replica of the input signal that is provided produced at the output side. But there are some problems in class A amplifier circuit, and these are its low output power and its less collector efficiency. Its efficiency is less than 50%, and about 35% to 40% its efficiency is. So that is why this circuit is not utilized for such applications where the collector efficiency requirement is high, very high. So that is why it is not particularly utilized. Then after, let's move on to the next slide, that is about the class B power amplifier circuit. So you would see here there is no biasing circuits that are being connected in the circuit, and all the VCC, V out, and the ground, they are connected like this only. The transistors, NPN and PNP transistors are used here so that the biasing could be made or the stability could be obtained, but it is not like that, because of the uh, complementary transistors we are using over here without any biasing circuits. So what happens is the operating point lies near the cutoff region. So as you can see here in the characteristics, this is the AC load line, this is the VC line, this is the CE axis, sorry, IC axis, and here in the end of the this AC load line, that is this cutoff point, Q point, is lying at this place. Now you can well imagine what happens here is when the Q point lies at the cutoff region, so whatever will be the input signal at this output stage, it will appear only for half of the cycle. It will only appear for the half cycle, because the Q point lies here, and whatever the signal is beyond this Q point, this particular signal, this particular input signal which is beyond this Q point, will not appear at the output at all. So because of this, a class B amplifier works such that it only conducts for 180 degrees. In spite of the input signal of 360 degrees, it will work only for the half of the cycle. So the Q point is at 0 volts on the load line. So it can give you output only for one half cycle, but it is having advantages over class A amplifier, that it is having a high output power, and along with that it is having a high collector efficiency. Efficiency means the output AC comparative to the input DC, as we have already discussed it in the last lecture. What an efficiency means: efficiency means the output corresponding to the input, how much efficiently the circuit is generating the output whenever it is getting some kind of input. So this circuit, in spite of the voltage, or in spite of the output signal or output current that flows only for 180 degrees, but still it is having a high output power, and it is having a high collector efficiency of about 50 to 60%. So next, move on. So it is basically, this class B amplifier basically considers as the best of the amplifiers because of its high collector efficiency. And how it is being utilized, I will tell you in the next lecture. Next, let's focus on the classifications right now. So next one is the class C power amplifier and its characteristics. So this is class C power amplifier, where the parallel resonance circuit is being utilized. L and C, the combination of L and C is being utilized over here, and only a single resistor is used in along with the base and the emitter side. But because of this circuit arrangement, the class C power amplifier, the output of class C conducts for even less than 180 degrees of the AC cycle. Why so? Is because the Q point lies below the cutoff region. Here, if we will discuss about the Q point, that then in this particular circuit, the Q point lies below the operating point, below the cutoff region, and the operating point lies below. So that is why what happens is, whatever the input signal we are providing, it is giving the output up to this level only, this particular level that is being shown here at this particular point, that is on the line of VCE, that is x-axis. Till this point only the signal will appear, and rest of all the signal will be disappeared in case of class C power amplifier circuit, as some reverse bias is being provided to the base of this transistor, and that is why it wipes off the effect of the positive half cycle that is being provided. So the collector current flows for very less time period, and these kind of amplifiers have severe distortion, and because of this they cannot be used for the power amplification purpose at all. But still, to amplify in the tuned range for some particular kind of RF range or RF frequencies, and to amplify a very narrow band of frequencies because of their higher collector efficiency. So its benefit is just the higher collector efficiency, nearly about 80%. So that is why they cannot be used at all for the power amplification purposes. But whenever we talk about the tuned circuits, what do you mean by tuned circuit is, for example, our radios. So radio is a tuned circuit, so we tune in the frequency and then we receive the signal. So those frequencies are narrow band frequencies, they are a or a particular frequency. So in that kind of circuits, when we talk about the RF range, when we talk about the tuned circuits, at that particular time, these kind of circuits like class C power amplifier type of circuits, because of their higher collector efficiency, could be utilized. But other than that, they could not be used because of severe distortion. How distortion is there? Because I have already told you that what distortion means. I have discussed it in the last lecture. The distortion means when the output is not the exact replica of the input signal. So output is not the exact replica of the input signal in this case. That is why it is considered as a distortion. Class B, class C, they give us some kind of distortion, right? Now move on to the class A B power amplifier and its characteristics. In this, we could say here the small biasing circuits along with the diodes are being utilized over here, and because of these diodes and the resistor biasing circuits, the Q point has been shifted to somewhat up rather than the cutoff, but still it is near about the cutoff. So that is why this waveform, that is the waveform beyond this cutoff level, is clipped off, and the output, it appears only for more than a half cycle, slightly higher than a half cycle. So it is basically a compromise. This circuit is basically a compromise between class A and class B. As we have studied that in class A, the whole cycle 360 degree was appearing at the output, but at class B, only 180 degrees were appearing. So this is a compromise between these two circuits, that the output of class AB circuit lies in between 180 and 360 degrees, somewhere in between, right? And the Q point is above, slightly above the class B, and slightly below of class A amplifier circuits. So the output conducts between 180 and 360 degrees of the AC input signal, right? So the biasing circuit is adjusted as you have seen here. So a small portion of negative and a complete portion of positive half cycle appears at the output side, right? And here no collector current flows during this period, that is the this one period beyond this cutoff range, or beyond this x-axis VCE range, no collector current flows through this period. So that is why this kind of circuit or this kind of output occurs at the class AB amplifiers output. So this one is also having lot of distortion, so it could not be used at all for the power amplification purposes. Here I would like to share with you that only and only class B power amplifier circuit, that too in some particular manner, is being utilized for the power amplification purpose because of its collector efficiency, that is more than 50 or 60%. Other than that, no no classification, no amplifier classification, or no power type, no amplifier type of this power amplifier, neither class A nor class C nor class AB, no one of that is used for the power amplification purpose. Rather they are being utilized for some other purposes other than the power amplification. Rather class B is only utilized for this kind of a purpose. So in this you can well see that amplifier classes and its efficiency. So if we talk about class A, so it is for 360 degrees, but its efficiency is about 25 30 or lies between 25 to 50%. If we talk about class uh, AB, then its efficiency is less than 50%, right? And its output is also not good. It gives around 270 degrees of the signal. Then if we talk about the class B, then it gives 180 degrees of the signal. 180 degrees, for 180 degrees the collector current flows from it, and its efficiency is higher, lies between 50 to 75%, and its efficiency is very high, class C, as we have already discussed. It gives you output, the conduction cycle is just around 90 degrees, but its efficiency is higher. And then some other amplifier circuits are also there, but they are not in your syllabus, or we need not to discuss them because they are hardly utilized or rarely used. So that is why, uh, because of the efficiency and because of this circuit output, this kind of 180-degree circuit output, we use class B at max in between all these power amplifier circuits, right? So this was all about today's lecture. So we'll meet in the next lecture for the next topics. So till then, take care. Bye bye.